There are over 2 billion moms in the world flying by the seat of our pants. Join me, MJ Miller, on a deep dive to find out how some moms cope. Do they also give up and pour that third glass of wine? Maybe a fourth? Who are these magical creatures that we call mom? We're mothers, and we're carrying the Motherload. Thank you so much. So I'm MJ. I'm really hoping to do comedy more often so that I can quit my day job. I'm a stay-at-home mom. My mother was also a stay-at-home mom. She didn't want to be, but we put the lock on the outside. You know, sometimes she'd escape and try to follow us to school, and we'd have to walk her back to the house and say, "No, Mom, stay at home." Good, Mommy. Here's an Ativan. Anyway, I have 3 kids, but I only like 2 of them. No, I'm just kidding. I don't like any of them. Because I love them. I think that's in my contract. I'm not sure. I'll have to talk to HR.
Do moms have a favorite child? We shouldn't, but we definitely do.
One child is easier than the other at certain times.
I like both my children equally, but sometimes I do prefer the dog.
Imagine having not 1, but 2 rock and roll sons. I'm here in Antigonish, Nova Scotia to meet with Nikki Callahan. She's the mom of Colin and John Angus MacDonald of the Canadian hard rock band, The Trews. Their first CD went gold, and they got tons of national exposure with their hit single, Not Ready to Go. They've been nominated for countless Juno Awards, won many ECMAs, and 2 US Music Awards. And sometimes these rockers bring their mom along for the ride. It's time to go talk to Nikki. And yeah, I'm ready to go.
Welcome. It's so nice to see you.
It's so nice to meet you.
Come on in.
Having us.
Come on in. Yeah. I was born in northern New Brunswick, and I was brought up in a market garden, and it was a very pleasurable time for me. And of course, I didn't know anything else. So when I had to leave the farm to go to elementary school, it was not an easy transition for me. I didn't like school. I always wanted to be home.
It's kind of ironic that you became a...
I became a teacher, yes. I became a teacher, which is odd, isn't it?
So we're in the house where the Trews was actually born, because this is the place that they thought of the idea, that they rehearsed. This house was just full of music.
All the time, yes. Their first EP, Trouser EP.
So at this point, they're the One-Eyed Trousers.
So they went from One-Eyed Trouser, which was a Monty Python skit and kind of was inappropriate.
The Monty Python song, One-Eyed Trouser Snake, which is actually referring to their penis.
That's right.
So your son's band, they named after their penises.
Yes, they did. I'm afraid.
And you're getting off that. You don't want to talk about that anymore. No. That's all I want to talk about is that. Yeah. And you've had a lot of experiences going to different concerts, being backstage, and you met Gord Downey.
Oh yes, yeah, talking about my profession instead of his.
So you wanted to talk about music and he wanted to talk about teaching.
Yes, that's right, and he won. The boys were opening for the Rolling Stones at the Phoenix in Toronto, and he called me, he says, "Hey Mom," he says, how would you like to come to the Phoenix to see the Rolling Stones? I said, "I'll be there." Things like that. I know it sounds silly, but it's kind of exciting when for a mother, for an older person to be able to do that.
It's great that their number one groupie was their mom. I love it.
I saved all my money from 1 year teaching, and then I traveled in Europe for the next year. We landed in London and then went over to Holland and landed in Amsterdam and bought a van, and then we did the whole Greece. When I first got home, I stayed in Montreal with my sister, and that's when I got pregnant with Colin. So I was ready because I had done everything that I wanted to do. I had done my traveling, and now I can handle this. Little do we know as mothers he can handle it. Oh my God. It was very nerve-wracking.
What do you have here?
Pictures of them packing the van to leave home to go on to Ontario,
Yeah.
where the music scene was much more vibrant and more opportunities. And none of them were really handy in terms of building things, but they made a bed in the back of the van and packed up all their gear and headed.
And they made it, it's
West.
a double-decker van. They made a bed on the top, and then they...
Yeah, because they had very little.
They're really shoved in
They're
there.
shoved in there, and they had very little money, so they often slept there too.
And
Yeah.
this van you purchased for them.
Well, it would belong to me, and I just said, take it.
They needed a van.
They needed a van.
I just think it's really interesting that vans kind of play a big part in your life. You had Colin, and you were surprised that you didn't sort of instinctually know what to do.
That's true. I didn't. I wanted to stay in the hospital for the rest of my life. I wanted the nurses to be there to tell me, how do you bathe this thing? And would he slip out of my head? He came home and he didn't have a bed.
But you made one.
Yes, I made one in the guitar case.
Were you trying to make him into a musician?
Perhaps. And when we went out to people's places, we could put him in a drawer. They used to pull out their drawers, and I'd say, as long as he's contained.
Man, the good old days where you could put babies in drawers.
Yeah, I might get arrested for this here. Mary Jane
But
said,
they're alive. So, are you ready to find out if writing songs is genetic?
I'm game. If you are, MJ.
I am. Rock and roll.
Rock. Do it again.
I did that. I don't know. Is that something the kids do? I don't know. Moms. I feel myself getting cooler, like with every moment that we do this. What else?
Earth, worth, girth.
Surth.
I don't think that's a word, MJ, but it's all right. We're only singing it. So
Remind me not to play Scrabble with you. I can only go fast. If I go slow, I screw up.
That's right. So that's all right. You go fast. We'll sing it fast.
No wonder they're such good musicians. That was very encouraging. I'm your mom, so please stay calm, and I will drop a big F-bomb. I'll just like that. We'll just dub it over with really good music. Look, I don't even have to touch the keys.
As one member of the Mom Bombs, MJ, second member, I'd like to thank my fans for all the support. Who do you want to thank, MJ? You thank your fans.
I'd like to thank you.
Oh,
This has been an amazing day.
It has been an amazing day.
And you are an amazing person, an amazing teacher, and an amazing mom.
And I think you're amazing too. And all you beautiful people behind the scenes.
All the beautiful people. We'd like to thank all the beautiful people. You've really made us who we are. I learned from Nikki to really listen to my kids and not think I can solve all of their problems. And also to keep traveling and exploring the world. And when it's time for them to go, let them go. It'll be okay. And you never know where they might end up. And you might end up front row at the Rolling Stones.
Okie dokie. You're on mute.
Sorry. It looks like I'm finally on time for a change.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us again.
Thank you for calling me back.
Yeah, listen, your resume is really impressive. Chemical engineering degree, an MBA, and 4 years practical experience at a successful startup.
So yes, we'd really like you to join our team.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, there's just one small thing. Your resume has a gap in it since you were at the startup. Can you tell us what you've been doing since then?
Oh, that's probably a typo. Very unprofessional, I know, sorry.
That's fine. So you stopped working in 2011?
That's a pretty big gap. That's 10 years.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was kidnapped.
Kidnapped.
Yes, I went kayaking and I was kidnapped by these Italian fishermen. And I escaped, but I suffered a head injury, which led to amnesia. And the only clue as to my true identity was held in a small negative that was inside my life jacket, which contained the bank account information to a bank in Zurich. So what I did was
I'm gonna stop you right there.
Isn't that the plot of The Bourne Identity?
Yes, it is. Who said that?
Did someone yell Mom?
Is that a child?
Sounds like someone's broken into my house.
Yeah, do you need to check on that?
No, I'm sure it's fine. You were saying that I'd be a really good fit?
Do you have kids?
Are you a stay-at-home mom?
I gotta get out of here. Everything's sticky.
Look, thanks very much. We'll be in touch with you.
There are socks in the refrigerator. It's disgusting.
We've got another call to get to.
Goodbye.
What part of stay-at-home mom do they not understand?
Blah, 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 blah.
My younger brother was born at home in the middle of an incredible blizzard in northern Cape Breton. The only plane that came into Sydney carried the midwife from Boston. Our neighbor drove to Sydney with chains on his four-wheel drive to bring her back, and she arrived as my mom's water broke.
Holy cow.
This timing was uncanny.
All at home. For the first time, you think your husband's going to be really useful, and then you're in labor and you're like, where's a
He doesn't
friggin'
know.
woman?
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know shit.
So I have 3 kids, as I said. I don't want to make all those moms that have the little babies that are up all night jealous, but my babies are incredible sleepers because they're teenagers. Yeah, they don't call them Generation Z for nothing. I mean, that is a weird generation. I mean, they're all like, oh my God, I am so screwed up because my parents loved me too much. And I'm like, oh no, really? Oh no. Okay, honey, come here. Does that make you feel better?
Did you know that humans are the only species that need help delivering our babies?
I don't want to get us into weird territory, but I swear there's...
You already got us
I
into
think-
weird territory.
I think there's like instances where farmers reach in to their animals to help them give birth.
That's true, they do, but I don't know if they need to do that. They're just doing it.
Just
They're
enjoy
just
it.
doing it because they want to. The farmers
Definitely.
want to do that because who doesn't? Who doesn't want to reach
Yeah.
into a cow and pull out a calf?
Respect to the Canadian farmers out there.
Being a mom, it's not all bad. You know, like the crafts are fun. Like those things that the teachers make your kids make for you for Mother's Day and Valentine's Day, those are fun, especially when you know what it is. My son made this for me for Mother's Day. And he said it was a turtle, but I swear to God, it looks like he shellacked his own poo. And of course, you have to pretend to love it. Oh, honey, I love it because it came from you. It did, right? It's not someone else's. No, being a mom means that you're gonna have a boatload of shitty art that you do not know what to do with.
What is the best thing about babies? The smell.
The best thing about babies, not much.
The best thing about babies, they're snuggly and they don't talk back.
All you have to do is feed them, change them, and put them in their bed, and they lie there. Then they start to crawl. That's not so good. Then they start to walk. That's even worse. Then they start to talk. Oh, then you're in trouble.
My advice to new moms is think twice.
Today, I'm meeting with Christine Brennan. She's the mom of Jill Saulnier, an Olympic medal-winning hockey player for the 2018 Olympics. Jill played hockey for Cornell, an Ivy League college in Ithaca, New York. She now plays for Les Canadiens in Montreal and is on the Canadian national women's hockey team. How'd she get to be so good? There's only one person in the whole world who can answer that question. It's time to talk to Jill's mom. Hi, Christine.
Hello, MJ. Come on in. It's nice
Thanks
to meet you.
so much for having me.
You're welcome. The early years of Christine Brennan. Yeah, graduated from Halifax West High School in 1984. Went to Dalhousie, studied first year of commerce, and I just did not like it at all. So I enrolled in community college, and then I've been with Veterans Affairs for the last 13 years, and I just love it. I think my natural skill set is to want to help people. Back when I was a kid, I always had that sense of right and wrong. I would be that fierce protector, all 4 feet of me.
Welcome to Hockey Talk with Christine Brennan.
That's me.
Look at all this stuff you have pulled out for us.
Yes. That's a picture of the day, it was probably 2 days after Brennan was born.
Oh, and they're on the ice already.
Jill has these little skates on where you slip your boot in. So Jill would have been almost 2 years old. First time she was on the ice, she would be running on her skates. And then there was no turning back after that. She fell in love with it.
That's a great picture of the beginning.
I was very athletic growing up. The Summer Olympics, I would just be glued to the television watching gymnastics. Hockey, no. Hockey really wasn't ever a part of who I was, and never did I ever dream that my whole life would be consumed by ice hockey. It was Adam AAA. This is Jill with her teammates. Cute. They won the provincials that year. My mom actually got flower pots and stacked them so that they in succession getting smaller, and then we put, you know, the silver bowl that everybody has in their kitchen, your popcorn bowl. They put tin foil all over the whole thing, so it was their Stanley Cup. So it was like probably 5 minutes left in this championship game, and someone yells up from the bench, "Go get the Stanley Cup!" It was out in our van, and I'm running out to the van like, oh my gosh. So when this was all over and they beat the team to win the provincials, they skated around to, of course, you know, we are the champions, carrying this little the Stanley Cup they called it, but it was just epic. Great memories.
I love you, Mommy, more than anything, spelled with an E, as it always should be.
I'm not a hoarder. I'm just emotionally connected to stuff. Sorry.
That sounds like a hoarder.
These are from, I think they're the 1976 Summer Olympics in Montreal. I was actually Googling the other day, seeing maybe where they are today. Nancy McDonnell. I tried to find her the other day, so that one there? Hi, Nancy. I'm this crazy 55-year-old that has Olympic cards.
Tell me about the experience of seeing your daughter not only play at the Olympics, but score a goal at the Olympics.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. I was there for the game. I just remember jumping up and just screaming and cheering, and then immediately start bawling. It was just such a moment I'll never forget it as long as I live. And yeah, just such a proud moment for her.
Can you show us the Olympic medal?
Sure. Wonder where it is.
Oh, look, it's right there. Do you like have it at the center of your table, like for every meal, and like, oh, by the way, that's just the Olympic medal there.
Oh, here.
Don't mind that. Pass the butter. It's just behind the Olympic medal. It feels really wrong to put an Olympic medal on yourself when you've done nothing but sit at a table. But there you go, I did it. I just want to see the picture of the goal that you have.
Jill's goal.
Yes.
She scored at the Olympics.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. This is
Ready?
It's a little picture.
Just a little.
Just a little picture.
Proud parent photo.
We get these Facebook memories. A picture came up yesterday or the day before, and it's just all the moms, but it's also the sisters, the cousins, the aunts, the friends that made the trip. And I'm thinking, that's Team Canada. I'm one of the moms. You grow with these families.
Hear that?
It takes a village to raise a hockey player. It does. It takes a village to raise any kid, but we are so blessed. I found a little picture that Jill had drawn, and it was a picture of our family, and Darren and Jill and Brennan were all in hockey gear with the sticks, and I was carrying a laundry basket. I didn't react as well to that picture.
Was the laundry basket at least full of pucks? That would have worked.
No. After I saw that one, I thought, you know what? I'm going to try to play hockey. I can skate. I'm sure I'm good at hockey. So I joined a league and I learned to play hockey 10 weeks, and I didn't like it at all. It was not for me, no.
Did they make you do more laundry after that? Or?
No, they moved away.
Okay, all right. They're on their own for their laundry. So let's play hockey. So this is not your first rodeo.
It's not my first rodeo.
My mom put me in hockey, curling, figure skating, pretty much anything. But the only thing I ever enjoyed on ice was scotch. So.
See, I know what I'm doing. Sort of. Like, she's like, no, you don't.
It's hockey day in Halifax.
All right, let's play hockey! And you're scrappy! That was a lucky break.
I wanted to get a penalty so I could sit down. What I learned from Christine is the power of community in helping you through motherhood. And if you have a kid that dreams big, you're gonna have to bring some balance. And also, don't forget your own dreams too. Mother. You're dead meat! Do mothers have a favorite child?
It depends on who you ask.
I say me, but I definitely was a handful, I think, at one time or another. So yeah, I mean, everyone can say that, I guess.
Were you a handful for your mother?
No. No, I wasn't. No.
You were the perfect child.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join in holy matrimony this woman.
I can't believe this is finally happening. What is life going to be like after this? We're about to embark on this whole new journey together. Am I ready for this? Did I choose the right one?
I now pronounce you house and wife. You may now clean your house.
Who is stronger, me or your mom?
Well, my mom's a bodybuilder, so probably her.
Well, I could build a deck, I think. I don't know. I've never tried. Who has more cats, me or your mom?
Well, my mom has 2 live cats and 2 dead cats that are in boxes because their ashes are in the boxes.
That's 4.
Yeah.
I don't think you should be allowed to count your dead cats.
No, she still wins.
But my house smells more like cat pee, so I win. USA! USA!
We live in Canada.
Oh yeah, Canada, Canada.
You don't win.
Your mom really needs to lower the bar. weirdest thing about becoming a mother is that everyone, all of a sudden, assumes you can bake. I had never baked anything in my life, but as soon as the cesarean stitches dissolved, people started asking for muffins. I'm telling you, it's weird. And you know, they'll come up to me and they'll say, "Oh, 3 kids, you must be busy." And I always think, if you ask me if I'm busy with my 3 kids, you are probably working with the false assumption that I cook, clean, or do laundry. Hey, lazy moms create independent kids. That's right. What do you think childbirth feels like?
Childbirth? Disgusting. It feels like you're getting like a human out of you. And you're in pain. And then you come out and then it looks like a dead slug. It's not good. I don't want that. So, no thanks.
You know what's weird about becoming a mom is like you're living your normal life and then all of a sudden you become a mom and you get smacked in the face with all these gender myths. There are so many friggin' gender myths. It's crazy. There are even gender myths about what we like to eat. Like men like to eat awesome things like steak and beer. And women like disgusting things like salad and yogurt, which we know can't be true because nobody likes salad. If you like salad, you are either lying or a jerk. Don't get me wrong. Salads are like pap smears. You know you should have them, but if you're enjoying it, there is something weird about you. But I mean, I just wonder who makes up all these gender myths. I picture some guy just sitting at a computer, just making shit up. There's even gender myths like women are not funny. You know, that's such a gender myth. And I know I'm funny because all of my ex-boyfriends said I was hysterical.
One time when I was proud of my mom was when she told us the birth story with all of us because she didn't scream or like cry or anything.
Birth, probably painful, like, oh, it probably hurts a lot.
Ow, something's falling out of my vagina.
What? It's a boy.
Oh no, Jocelyn, it's coming! It's coming, oh God! Oh, no. You got this, just one more I see that!
My baby. I think childbirth is a necessary evil.
Why is it crying so loud? It's really annoying. I need my wine.
It's like telling someone you have to suffer for 18 years. Yeah, it's definitely not worth it, but like it's also worth it.
Chris Catherine Cochran is famous for her drag persona Elle Noire. As a proud Black trans woman, she's used that fame to educate, break boundaries, and most importantly, fight for basic human rights for trans people in society. Trying drag on a dare when she was in the Navy, this year marks 15 years of Elle Noire. She's performed across Canada and internationally. She was the 2019 ambassador for Halifax Pride. She also works as a consultant, esthetician, and actress. And now I'm here in Chris's hometown of Glace Bay, Nova Scotia to meet Patricia Hurley and find out what was it like to birth all this fabulousness into the world. Hi, Trish.
Hi, MJ.
How are you? Good to see you. What do you think of when you see this beautiful, beautiful woman?
Love her to death. Jealous she looks better than me.
They always do, eh?
Yeah,
My kids, like, they'll take my clothes and they'll put them on, and I'll be like, don't put my clothes on because then I see how good they can look. And all this glamour, that's not from you?
Nope, because I'm
weren't
always just
into the lipstick and the earrings and
when I was
everything?
younger.
Yeah.
She liked makeup and doing hair. She used to do my hair.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Did she do a good job?
Oh, yeah.
That's a bonus.
Yeah.
I like all these bonuses that you get. If you don't have talented kids, you get to experience.
I was the youngest of 13, and I was put in foster care. When I was 9, I was sent back to my biological mother, wasn't a good place. A year later, I was back at the same foster family, and at 13, I was adopted by this foster family. My mother was sent a letter to be at the court, but she never showed. I swore I'd never turn my back on my kids, no matter what. They didn't ask to be brought into the world, so why would you turn your back on them? My foster parents, very strict. Do what you were told or else. I didn't like the fact of being controlled so much. I couldn't breathe. My kids, I let them make their own choices, what they want to do in life, not control them.
You've seen her shows.
Oh yes, I've been to a few of them up in Halifax.
What does that feel like?
I love it.
Yeah?
Well, that's my baby.
Did you ever talk to her about identity or any of those kinds of things?
She never really said anything until she was in the Navy.
And you sent a letter?
Just saying, I know that you're different. It doesn't matter to me. You're my baby, and I'm always here.
Would it have been shortly after that that she tried drag?
Mm-hmm. When she was actually in the Navy, she did.
And did she tell you about that experience?
Yeah, and some of them did not like it at all.
Really?
Mm-hmm. She had her time.
Does she protect you from some of the things that she goes through in terms of, walking down the street?
She doesn't tell me everything.
No.
She doesn't. They did a show in Sydney, and we were walking down the road, and a bunch of guys were walking up the other side, and they started with the name calling. I stopped. I said, you're so big. I said, come on over here and say that. Chris says, Ma. I said, no. I said, you want to open your mouth? Come on over here in front of me and say it.
Are you ready to try out your child's talent?
I guess so. So you first.
These are wig caps. Right. I've done drag as a man, but I have never done drag
as a woman.
So this is a first for me, too.
So what are you supposed to do?
I don't know. Oh my God.
Glasses off.
Is that right? Okay, here we go, Trish. We're in it now. There is no turning back. You look great. You look good in a friggin' wig cap. That's not right. And you're not much of a makeup wearer?
No.
No. And would you let Elle make you up now?
I have no choice after this.
That's what it sounded like. It sounded like she was pissed.
Oh, well.
She was like, you're letting them, like, strangers come into your house to do your makeup, and you don't let me? I think I look a little bit like the former president. Yeah, baby. Now we got the eyes for the job. We still have to think of good names. What about something that sort of speaks to like Cape Breton heritage, like the Kilted MILF? What about Patricia Delicia? Come on. The Patty Cakes? I know. Lace May instead of Glace Bay. That does fit you. Introducing Lace May. Hey ladies, what are you doing in your van while you're waiting for that soccer game to end? Candy Crush. What I learned from Trish is that the greatest gift a mom can give their kid is the gift of acceptance of who they truly are, and to thine own self be true.
Blah, 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 blah.
Can you show me what childbirth feels like?
I would not know.
What about you? Could you mimic childbirth for me?
Not accurately, I wouldn't say. No, I can't imagine without being insulting in some way.
Have you ever seen the movie Alien?
Yeah.
You know that scene where the alien pops out?
That's as close as you figure you'll understand childbirth.
Pretty good analogy.
It is an alien coming out of
exactly,
your head.
Please shut your yapper.
Welcome, gentlemen, to the Ministry of Men class on parenting. Everyone here has a pregnant partner, which means we gotta have the talk. Isn't it a little late for that?
Not that talk. See, very soon, your partner is gonna come to you and ask, who's gonna stay home with the baby? Your very lives depend on your answer to that question. So it is very important that you adopt an attitude of ineptitude. Ineptitude. Gentlemen, what is this? A diaper? That is the kind of answer that's gonna end up with you pushing a stroller to a mom and tot sing-along. Try again. What is this?
A face cloth.
Better.
Parachute for a cat?
Even better.
It's a diaper for a baby.
I swear to God, Alex, do you really want to be the only dad in that mom and tot sing-along? Who among you wants to be in a room with a bunch of moms discussing the latest yogurt recipe?
Not me. No way. I can't that day.
It's very important that we have an argument grounded in facts with sensible, masculine answers to the question, why can't men stay home to raise children?
Biology.
Yeah. Yes.
What is the biological reason men can't raise kids?
Alex. Do I really need to mansplain this to you?
It's because we don't have boobs.
Yeah.
For breastfeeding.
Yes, good.
Guys, we can feed the babies express breast milk that's stored in the freezer.
Ugh, no way.
This is ridiculous. We don't have to be inept. We have created a socioeconomic system of inequity that pays women less for the same jobs.
What the hell are you saying?
We make more money. The woman will volunteer to stay home.
Oh my God, that's genius. Wage gap. 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 Wage gap.
Genius.
My mom is a pretty good cook. Nothing compared to my dad. My mom tries really hard, and I really appreciate the time and effort she puts into making food for us, but we don't always like it.
The thing is, I don't really cook because my kids won't eat anything I make. I mean, neither will I. It is disgusting. And I really don't like grocery stores because I always get overwhelmed. And I find people too angry at the grocery stores, like especially when you get to the cash and you get to that food treadmill thingy, and you know, people are slamming that bar down between their stuff and your stuff, and I'm like, calm down, what did you think was gonna happen? Did you think I was gonna make you buy my chips and then rob you in the parking lot after to get them back? Doesn't make any goddamn sense. I once had a guy say, your maxi pads are touching my watermelon. How was I supposed to know he wasn't into that?
The most trouble my child ever got into, 3 dozen eggs all over his bedroom would be a good start.
Totaling a car that was a month old. That worked.
Peeing in the front yard when the neighbors are outside.
They seem to keep forgetting how to use a fork and knife at supper and use their fingers every day.
My middle child likes to pick his nose and eat it, and my oldest daughter likes to lick her hands. So we're doing really well.
The smartest things my kids ever did, well, that's a really hard thing. I mean, they weren't the most brilliant bulbs in the drawer. One that wrecked the car ended up driving 18-wheelers. I had boys. Boys aren't prone to doing a lot of things that you're going to be proud of until they get older.
Something my mother always said to me was, girls are special, boys are stupid, kind of stuff.
That's probably the worst thing about being a mom, is trying to figure out how to bring them up so that they are people. I mean, good people.
Non-homicidal people.
And yeah.
It's a challenge.
How would you like to work 24 hours a day with no pay and no breaks? I know, sounds perfect. But how about on top of that, you get a fancy title like stay-at-home mom. How is it with all the wokeness in the world, we are still using that term? We don't say sit at desk manager or exist in office lawyer. There are so many stereotypes about what a mother does. Being a mother doesn't necessarily mean you cook. It doesn't mean you clean. It doesn't even mean you've given birth. Mother is a relationship, like sister, brother, daughter. It means you're related to someone. Mother is not an action, it's a noun, not a verb. And yet, so many of us are running around worried about how to mother with a panic attack lodged in our sternum. That is as absurd as worrying about how to human. Of course you want your children to be healthy, happy, successful. But you can't mother that into existence. Children can and will do dumb things, and the only thing we can control is our reaction to it. Be you. Embrace yourself in all your distinctiveness. And most importantly, remember to take time for yourself, no matter how you do it. That's good.
I wish I knew all those women who said, I love being pregnant. I love being pregnant. They were lying. All the ones I met said they loved it, but I hated it.
I didn't hate being pregnant. See, I enjoyed it.
Did you though?
I looked great because I was eating great and I felt so good, except for the part where I barfed my brains out 7 days a week, 3 times a day for 9 whole months. Yeah, people kept saying, it'll get better. It never got better. I actually wanted to have lots of children until I had children.
I am so excited to meet Carolyn Boyd. She is the mother of director, choreographer, dancer, hip-hop artist, actor, writer, and all-around exceptional person, Corey Bowles. Corey's career started right here in Truro, Nova Scotia. He rose to notoriety in the Trailer Park Boys, and now he's become one of Canada's directors to watch. Today, we're going to find out where all that creativity came from by talking to his mom. Hi.
Hi, MJ. Nice to meet you. Come on in.
It's all about ladies, dude.
It
all
really
about
is.
ladies. It is, man. It's so cool.
My little boy meant everything to me and still does. They thought I was nuts. I used to just dance by myself, put the music on. My neighbors would say, we saw you dancing in your living room. If I hear a song on the radio, they would turn it up and just... I think sometimes they perceive that in the wrong light. And you see belly dancers, there's more different style of dancing than just shaking your boobs and you know, wiggling your hips. My oldest son, I say, it's no worse than wearing a bathing suit. Actually, you have more clothes on.
So this is Corey through the years.
Corey through the years, yeah.
Oh my God. I think I have school pictures where I look exactly like Corey Bowles. Like, look at the vest. That is sharp. I did that too. We buttoned right up to the top. My sister used to make fun of me. She said only nerds button to the top. It was at school that he met his band members.
Yes, they all went to school together. That started to really explode, and they ended up getting their recording contract. And
Right, and we have an album here.
Yeah.
And this is where you used to live.
That's the trailer.
That's the trailer.
That's the trailer where Corey grew up in.
Straight from the Trailer Park Hip Club Group.
Mike Clattenburg, the director of Trailer Park Boys, directs Corey's video. So out of that comes Trailer Park Boys and his involvement in Trailer Park Boys. But of course, it's Trailer Park hip hop. So in a way, you know, I wonder how much this is playing in Mike Clattenburg's mind, and he's really right there at the beginning of Trailer Park Boys. Yeah.
He said, I really love acting, but he said, I like being behind the camera.
Yeah, well, it uses all his creative juice, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Speaking of creative juice, what is this?
That's his Gemini.
That's his Gemini. He gave his mom his Gemini award.
He just started from a little kid in a trailer park, and I always knew he was going to do something because he just had this artistic flair about him. He got into dance. He told me he wanted to take dance. Well, it was expensive to go, and I said, well, that's going to be a little tough. So he said, well, if I can get in, I'm going to. So he used to sneak in. He put some his whole heart and soul into whatever he does.
What are you?
I am an old chick with a spring chicken inside.
You were a single mom.
Yep.
Yeah, and you're raising 2 boys by yourself.
The house was helter-skelter, but I mean, my mindset was making sure that the kids had everything they needed.
You graduated from Lucien's beauty school, and then you decided to go to Montreal?
That's where Corey was born. Oh, a year or so later, I met someone else, and that relationship was really bad. When things were really sour and stuff boiled over, my friends called and said, you need to come get your daughter.
And your mom did?
Oh, yeah. My dad put her on the train, and she was there the next morning. I felt like I was safe. My hero came to save me. The hardest memories and toughest times sometimes, when you look back on them, are the best times, because that's what brought you really tight together. Yeah. So I enjoy every minute, every second, and make the best of it. I'm going to die laughing probably.
And dancing.
Yep, that too. It's one of my favorite things. I love it. It just lifts my spirits. Tie her up.
All right.
You're really tiny.
I don't look tiny on film, but she says I'm tiny.
Yeah.
I'm all upper body. I'm like a football player, a little tiny football player.
I always did like to dance, but I never really dreamed. I used to see them and think, oh my God, it would be so nice to do this stuff.
And you held yourself back from it?
When I was working at Stanfield's, the girl that's in the office came in. She said they were looking for new recruits. As soon as I heard that music, I said, okay, this is it. This is for me.
So dance helped you get through your cancer diagnosis and treatment?
Chemo was really hard, and I hid it from my family because I didn't want them to know. So I did everything I could to keep my smile on, and I always felt better after I danced. It's a lot of beautiful, intricate movement. I think sometimes I'm praying when I'm doing it.
Does dance connect you and Corey?
Maybe it does, I don't know. Corey was into ballet, jazz, and hip-hop too. And it was actually the first time I've ever seen him dance that way. It was just the most magnificent thing I'd ever seen. And it actually moved me to tears. I was just moved by it. I thought it was one of the most beautiful things I'd ever seen.
I learned from Carolyn that sometimes your most challenging moments can lead to your most beautiful moments. And when it comes to my kids, her best advice was, go with the flow.
What keeps me going as a mom? I would have to say coffee and vodka.
Aside from the copious amounts of wine, what keeps me going as a mom is I'm so excited to see how my kids are going to turn out.
Did I ever want to quit being a mom? No, I can't imagine quitting. I love being around my kids, even when you wanted to strangle them.
The thing about kids is we really do, as parents, sometimes put too much energy into them. You know, so many parents are like, oh, my daughter, she's going to be a ballerina astronaut, Bitcoin billionaire. I put so much energy into my first kid. I would write these little notes and put them in her lunchbox, like, you are so special. I love you so much. And then when my third started school, I was like, the bread is over there. But I have no authority over my kids. It's terrible. I mean, my mother, she could come up to me and if she was really mad, she would say stuff like, Missy, you've got another thing coming. If I said that to my daughter, she would check the porch for an Amazon box.
Not funny.
That's not funny.
Boo, you stink!
Get off the stage! Go home! Get out!
I don't think that's funny